Hello and good evening. Come on in, viewers. Come on in. It is Monday.
Hello, hello.
All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. When you all come in, please holler at your girls. Let us know you're in the room, you're on the talk show, um, so we can shout you out.
That's right.
So, again, hello and welcome to the Green Table Live talk show where Ishonda and I are your talk show hosts, and we are your senior care experts. Listen, we are glad to have you back. We are back in front of the cameras after being off for quite a while, maybe a year or so. And
Yeah.
so, but we're here. We were here on last Monday, and we're back again with episode 2, right? And so we're back on the Green Table Live talk show with a twist. And so let's talk about the twist. Let's talk about how we have revamped the Green Table Live talk show. And so we are here to bring awareness. We're here to tell you the ins and outs of senior care. We want to make sure you know and your family, your loved ones know that they have options. They have options to be taken care of that is cost effective at home. And so we want to share all the things about senior care here on the Green Table Live Talk Show.
Yes. So, just a little bit about who we are. We are affectionately known as the sisters. So, we are the sisters. We are registered nurses. We have been in the senior care business. Well, we have owned our senior care business for 17 years, but combined, and I can't remember that number, but combined, we have
Over 40.
over 40, 43, 44 years of experience together. So we've been doing this a long time. We feel like we know that this is our calling, it's our ministry, and this is our superpower. So that's just a little bit about us on tonight. We're going to be talking tonight. Our topic for tonight is why senior care family planning is so important. Why is senior care family planning so important? So we used to do home care.
Right.
Now we haven't done home care since 2019, and we did it for like I don't know. I'm gonna say 12 years. We did home care for 12 years. Well, out of all the years that we did home care, we used to get calls for services. But guess who was calling? Who was calling?
Who was calling? Guess, viewers, who do you think was calling us about senior care for their loved ones?
Yes. Who was calling?
I can tell you who was not calling. The seniors.
The
seniors were not calling.
It was always a family member or a concerned church member, but it was never the seniors. And there's a reason for that. They simply do not complain. They don't complain, right? That's just something that is a part of their era. And usually when you find out something is wrong with them, it's something that's really, really bad. So what we noticed is when people called us, nobody had planned for senior care. Nobody had planned for it. And sometimes the family member lived in other states, or wasn't right here with them. And it really put a lot of stress on them. And they had a lot of different questions that we're going to talk about that on tonight. But we saw the how that can really be disruptive to a family, because they, probably could have been a little better if they had planned.
That's right. And so we know that this is going to touch every single household.
Right.
And so we just want to do our part, right? We want to do our part in making sure that family caregivers, families know how to take care, how to plan, and not be blindsided. Because, when things happen, like you said, when they know is a major problem.
That's
and
right.
so you already have a lot of things pulling at you and trying to get everything in order. So why not go ahead and plan? Let's talk about this. Let's sit down and have a conversation. And so that's what we encourage you to do on tonight. And so listen, if you know a family caregiver, you know someone is taking care of a loved one, please tag them in the comments, because they need to know, they need to be a part of the senior care, the Green Table Senior Care Talk Show, because again, we're going to be sharing the ins and outs on the do's, the don'ts in senior care and planning for senior care on tonight.
That's right.
So let's get to it. Who's ready?
Let's dive in. So, and if you guys have any questions, you can definitely put them in the chat, and we'll answer any questions that you guys have for us on tonight. So, hello, Dominique. So, first question, Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the reasons why it is important to plan for senior care?
I mean, planning is everything. We plan for all types of things, right? And so why not plan for how you want to live out, your loved one want to live out their last days, right? This is so very important. This is, these individuals, they're frail, they are vulnerable, they may be going through some cognitive issues. So they, why worry about what should I do? Where will I go? Who's going to take care of me at that time? Why not plan?
Well, to your point, Jessica, like I said, when we used to get phone calls, or we still get phone calls, the first thing is, what type of options do I have available? Yes. What type of options do we have? That's the first question. What type of care, or who can we trust, or what does it cost?
And then I think the first question is, where do I want to be taken care of? What does that look like? Where, because we've talked to our parents, and we've had this conversation with a lot of other family members, and that's the first thing, like, mom, dad, grandma, where do you want to be taken care of? Do you want to stay at home? Do you feel would you like to go live in a senior apartment or assisted living? What does that look like? The nursing home? And so really you just got to start asking questions.
That's right. So I think number one, so Jessica, correct me if this is what I'm hearing, is number one is knowing the options.
Definitely knowing the options, what is out there, and how do you want to be taken care of?
That's right. Because I know I was having a conversation with someone, we were talking about personal care home versus assisted living. And there's some differences there, but there's some big differences there, right? Number one, assisted living is all private pay. And see, people don't know that. So if you're living in an assisted living facility, that's 100% private pay. But personal care homes are covered by Medicaid.
That's correct.
So low income, if you get an SSI or low income, you'll probably qualify for a Medicaid waiver, which will pay for a personal care home. But assisted living, that is all private pay, and that's a big difference.
Major difference. Major. So what would you say? What would be a reason?
I would say, for me, Jessica said knowing your options. For me, is being able to give my loved one a choice, the choice that they want, right? We knew that, even how we got in this business, our grandmother told us she never wanted to go to a nursing home. We talked about last week how our maternal grandmother, that was not even a question.
Right.
It didn't even come up about her going to a nursing home. And then our parents, who are a little bit more savvy, they'll have the option to do whatever they want to do. If they want to live at their home, if they want to downsize into a senior living, they have options. And so I think that's, for me, that would be an important reason to plan so that you can know, and I think you already touched on it, but know what your loved one wants to do, how they want to, and where they want to live.
And also, I think another reason why planning is important, because, just like we plan, the reason we buy life insurance, right?
Mhm.
Because we don't want to be a burden, right, to our kids, our whoever, our companion, whoever is going to be taken care of. You don't want to be a burden to them. And so, and then if you are a child who will be taking care of older your parent, then you're living life, and this could throw a major monkey wrench into your life. And so you just want to have plans. I'm a person, I love to plan. I don't like surprises. I don't like, I'm a mover and a shaker. I can adjust, but really, if I can plan it, I'm going to plan it.
Mhm.
So I just say, why not?
Can we touch on that just a little bit, Jessica? Because I don't want to run over that. You talked about basically if you have to become a family caregiver,
Mhm.
and it wasn't planned for. And if you can just talk a little bit about what that looks like, what we kind of see, what happens when that happens.
I mean, what I have seen is that it always fall on one person.
Mm-hmm.
And family care, a caregiver is a lot. It requires a lot, and then it even if it's a huge family, or it's multiple people, seem like it always is one person that it falls on, and it could be for different reasons. I mean, live out of state.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, life is busy, hectic. And then some people just don't have the caregiving instinct. It just doesn't click. It doesn't matter. This could be your mom, your dad, and you can love them, but you just don't have that caregiving. Everybody don't have it.
That's right.
And so, they can't do those things, taking them to the bathroom, bathing them, and so I just see it falls on one caregiver.
It falls on one caregiver, and it can be very, very, very disruptive. And when I say disruptive, I see because of the lack of planning. And sometimes I don't know if planning will always help. I think it'll make it better. But I see where either they have to move in with mom and dad, or they have to move mom and dad in with them. It may be mom and dad can't drive anymore. It may be they're starting to get forgetful. They don't remember things like they used to. And sometimes it can be a real fast, drastic decline.
Yeah.
And that takes your time as a family caregiver, because even if you got professional help, there's a lot of moments that you're going to have to be there. And it's a lot.
It is.
And I don't think people, we even got to the financial parts of this, but just physically the time that it takes to be there with the loved one, it is a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah. So listen, if you're just chiming in, please say hello to us in the chat. Also, if you know a family caregiver, someone taking care of their loved one, please tag them in the comments. We're talking about all things senior care. We're bringing awareness. We're talking about the ins and outs of the importance of why you should do family planning for senior care.
That's right. That's right. So just let's talk about some of the financial implications that come along with senior care that family members may not be aware of, they haven't planned for. Let's talk a little bit about that.
This is the number one question: how much? Who's going to pay for it? How much? And everyone is always shocked.
Yeah, because we could tell you who's not going to pay for it.
They're always shocked, and they're like, my loved one has Medicare, the blue, red, and white card. They have the blue, red, and white card. They have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have this retirement, and they have this health plan, Humana. All those insurance. And I tell them, I say, these options, Medicare, the healthcare plans, do not cover long-term, non-skilled care.
That's right.
Does not.
Number one shocker.
And they're like, what? Well, who's going to pay for it? And how much does it cost? And I say, well, because they always come and they say, my loved one needs 24/7 care. And I say, 24/7 care at home runs, when we were doing it in 2019, 24/7 was about 20 to 25K. Everything has went up now. So that was 4 years ago. And so, their mouth is like, what? For real? Yes. So let me see. We have some comments. Yeah, not the blue, red, and white card. Definitely not. Narada, hello. Is that? Look, I can't see. I can't. I got on my glasses and I still can't see. Aging.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So number one, I think the first shocker is that people don't realize is Medicare doesn't pay for it. And then the second thing I know that is a shocker is that those who are covered by Medicaid, and which is a special waiver, those who are actually able to get services through the waiver, is a couple of things that people don't know. Number one is it is for very low income seniors. And so these are people who generally only have their SSI check.
That's correct.
So if they have any type of retirement or 401k or anything like that, they most likely are not going to qualify for a Medicaid waiver. And you would be looking at paying for these types of service private pay or cash, right? So that's always a shocker for people. And so we want to make sure people understand that. So those two reasons alone is reasons to plan.
Yeah. And so, we're going to, on shows, we're going to be talking about the finance. What can you do? What pays for the service? We'll talk, we mentioned it briefly. It was the Medicaid waiver, is long-term care insurance and private pay. VA also pays for it. So, but one thing, another shocker is, even if you are eligible to get on the Medicaid waiver, it's not a flip the switch and I sign up and I get service tomorrow. No.
That's right.
It takes at a minimum 90 days.
Oh,
a minimum.
That's right. Just to get on the program.
Yeah. So this, you have to plan. Have to, because we just said people come to us when it is a fire and they need instant results, instant help. But if you're hearing us, we're telling you, you have to plan, because if you're not going to pay for this out of pocket, then it's going to take time.
Yeah. And I just want to add one last thing, because we're at our time for tonight. But also, if you qualify for one of those Medicaid waivers, it's a limited amount of services that you get. So I know you talked about how people call, and a lot of times they want 24 hours a day. You may only get approved for 6 hours. I think the max is 8.
It's 8 hours.
The max is 8 hours a day. So your loved one may need 24 hours of care to be able to stay home or in the community. But those waivers are not going to pay for 24/7 care. So that's another thing I think.
Unless you go into personal care home.
Yes.
So again, you got to know the service types. You got to know your financial options. It's just a lot that goes in it. So I just encourage you. I admonish you to sit down and have this conversation with your aging loved ones, because again, as I said, this is going to touch every single household. And so let's plan, because we were actually, I'm going to end on this. We were talking to a group about a year or so ago, and I asked them several questions. I asked them, and you all answer these questions. How many of you all plan for retirement? Your 401k? How many of you all plan life insurance, right? How do you, your life insurance, you plan that, right? What else do you plan? Vacation. Who plans for a vacation? Yes. So we plan for so many things, even when we want to make a large purchase, right? We plan for that. Why not plan for senior care? And so I asked that. After I asked all those questions, everybody raised their hand. 401k, life insurance, vacation, major purchases. I plan. And I said, well, who has planned for senior care? Who has start making plans for senior care? How many people raised their hand?
I think one.
One person. So listen, we want to make sure you know your options, and and you feel secure. Like I feel like I have a peace of mind knowing that if something, God forbid, something happened to one of our parents and they needed some extra care, some extra support, what would we do? How would that affect us? And I would feel confident knowing that we have long-term care insurance in place for our parents. We have sat down and we have talked about the different options and how they want to be taken care of. And so again, I just encourage you to have the conversation. And it's not a hard conversation. We actually have a guide.
We do, and we're going to be dropping in the comment section on tonight. So we have I guess, put together a form, a guide to help you have that conversation, to show you what questions you should ask, what answers you should be getting to help you with your family planning. So if you look in the comment section, we do have our family planning guide for you tonight that you can download and utilize it to help answer some questions, so you can start planning for your family. And I think from tonight, I think next week when we come back, I think a great conversation. We'll go ahead and talk about options. What are your senior care options? Because I would say that's probably one of the number one top 5 questions that we get is, what are our options? And so we'll talk about that definitely on next Monday.
All right. So please, if you are watching us on replay, please put in the chat replay. Let us know that you're watching it on replay. Also, again, share this. First, share this on your page. Tag a loved one, tag a family caregiver in the comments. We want to make sure we are doing what we are called to do, and we're called to bring awareness.
That's right.
We have through the last 17 years in business, we have just seen how individuals have come to us and seeking help, seeking options, and and don't know their options. And so we want to bring awareness. And that's what we're doing here at the Green Table Live Talk Show.
All right. Well, that is it for tonight. We have went way over our time, so we're going to do a better job of that next week. But again, in the chat, you should find your copy of our family planning guide that can help you start having that conversation with your family member, so that you can start planning. Planning so you can understand the financial implications. Planning, most importantly, so they can have a choice and a say in the matter. And it's not a last minute decision. So if there's not anything else, we will see you guys next Monday, same time, 6 p.m.
All right. See you later.